There's the hill that I just came down. No vehicles over that way. So now I continue the walk up to Olympic Highway North, which leads up to the local tourist attraction, McDonald's, and then past that, the local Walmart. It says it's a supercenter, but unfortunately, it lies. It's about half the size of an actual Walmart supercenter. And when you actually get inside, you see how much they lie. If it's a supercenter, it's like the stunted dwarf runt of the litter. The absolute non-superstore you can be without actually not being a superstore. So it's pretty special. I mean, for Walmart. I mean, if you're disappointed by Walmart, then you've set your sights way too low in life, my friend. I mean, pretty much anything where you come out on top is a winner. Once again, the stream, oh, waterness. Much waterness. Can you see all that water down there? That's a lot of water. What's my percentage here? It looks like 90% empty. Can't tell what my charge is. Although I had charged it fully before leaving. So that's a good thing. I guess really it all depends on my willingness to talk to myself in public and how far I'm willing to walk. Especially since I have to get back, render and edit my morning vlog, and then upload. That's 2 hours from now. What in fact are the odds I'm going to be on time today? I don't know. I should cut myself some slack. After all, I mean, YouTube's guidelines say do not upload more than 2 videos per day. Most people who do YouTube analysis and telling people how to adjust their channels for maximum growth actually say, what seems paradoxically, instead of uploading a week's content every single day, like I do, is only to upload like 3 to 5 times a week, and just 1 or 2 videos a day. No more. The various people that he's talked to and done that with, they thought he was crazy, tried it, and then saw their channels explode, tripling in subscriptions easily in very short periods of time. Am I smart? That's a tough one. Because I realize I upload a week's content, sometimes 2 weeks, every single day. And here's the art gallery. If you could see words, you'd be able to see the quote marks I would put around the word art. Because, let me tell you, this is none of it really of a quality that I would try to sell, personally. I mean, that's just me, but hey, far be it from me to quash the spiritual heart. I consider myself an artist of sorts, although I myself have traditionally throughout my life not sculpted in stone, wood, or paint of any kind. I have instead sculpted through words and been a writer. I have never been a paid published writer, but in all my years of writing, I have been published in the oddest places at the oddest times. So it's not like I have never been published, just never broken into the mainstream publishing, nor been actually paid in actual money for my writing. Sadly, well, wait till this loud truck goes by. Sadly, each creative person, and in fact each person in life, but more so the creative types, but everybody has a fire in their belly, and that fire fuels whatever passions you have. Whether it be something simple, like collecting something, say stamps, or music, or art, or little glass unicorns, whatever that might be. The fire in your belly fuels your passion for that type of art. Now, if you're of the creative type, you will use that fire in your belly to do more than just collect or think or such. You will actually try to make that fire to fuel actual projects. You will create music or sculpture or paintings or stories and novels. I've written a 30,000 word science fiction story when I was younger. Quite a good story too, actually held together and was quite funny. But you have to be careful with that fire in your belly. And when I was very young, around 12, my parents were having me mix their drinks for them, which was fairly common back in that time. But I also used that time to start drinking on my own, attacking and draining from the liquor bottles in the liquor cabinet. So from about age 12 onward, I was drinking fairly regularly. Then when I got into middle school, well, even before middle school, I met a friend of mine in about 4th grade, and we used to raid his mother's and her significant other's pot stash. And so from about 4th grade to midway through high school, I was a pot smoker. Some of the most amazing feelings I've had were when I was younger and had been smoking pot. The weird thing is, even though we only smoked, dirt weed back then, there was maybe 7%. And it was largely, leaves and some stems and some bud, but, we'd smoke that. And it must have been a combination of just youth, undeveloped brains, and more, because I remember where I would be so stoned that just to close my eyes, I could feel myself dissolving and just melting into the music, drifting away. Just feelings that I don't feel anything now. I smoke anywhere from 20 to 35% THC weed now. My apologies for the loudness of the vehicles. There will be a lot of them. It's morning time. This is the main drag. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear me over the top of them. But even on top of that, there are various oils and concentrates of the cannabis plant, where we have the product of that is anywhere from 70 to 95% straight and pure THC. I'm at the 10-minute mark. I'm going to be right back. It is much easier to edit a bunch of smaller files than one larger file. And so I will take 5 or 6 of these dabs, 90% THC. I will take in more THC in one dab, I dare say, than I took in during my entire 6 or 7 years of pot smoking. And what do I feel? First and foremost, a cessation of pain. That's pretty much it. If I continue to dab and have more than one, I will have a feeling, a general feeling of goodness. Things being alright. Not being as bad as, that I had been feeling that they were. THC has a natural antidepressant effect. If I keep dabbing, then what I do feel after that is I quickly become unable to speak English properly. I will be thinking clearly. I will be able to do everything properly that a normal person would. It is just that when I go to speak English, the signals from my brain to my tongue don't really reach there unmangled. And so I have to stop and really think and concentrate to be able to get the words out properly. I don't get giggly, laughy, or any of that. I get a general feeling of pleasantness, happiness, and a cessation of pain. And when I hurt from my toes to the hair on top of my head, a cessation of pain is a wonderful, wonderful thing, let me tell you. This is a heck of a hill, too. Right down there, if you can see through the trees, that down there is part of railroad past those larger trees where the houses are, where I was walking earlier. So it's already gained quite a bit of altitude here. Phew. And of course we're continuing to climb. We're only about halfway up the hill. Or rather out of the valley, I guess. I don't know if it's on top of a hill here, or if downtown is inside of a valley. Probably more of a valley, since after all you have to climb on the hill on the other side to get up to my house, and you're climbing the hill here to get to the other flat region. So that's probably downtown, and all that is in a valley. Nothing wrong with that. Let's just hope, though, that there's no flood or pyroclastic flow from a volcano. Because frankly, I don't want a pyroclastic flow to dash down here and then heat up my body temperature so quickly that within 0.2 of a second, the fluids in my skull boil so quickly but my head literally pops like a balloon. I don't want that. That happened to the people not so much in Pompeii when Vesuvius exploded, but there was the town of Herculaneum, which was closer. The people of Herculaneum didn't really have a chance to just hide and then have the ash fall on them and then entomb them until we discover them thousands of years later. No, the pyroclastic flow rushed into Herculaneum and literally heated up all of the people so quickly that, yes, in 0.2 of a second, the fluid inside of their skulls boiled and their heads exploded. Can you imagine what that must have looked like? I mean, no human being would have been alive to see it. But if you had some sort of traveling eye that you could send back in time, they could look back in that period, you could send it back, and then we would have in glorious three-dimensional color everybody's heads exploding in great bursts of red-hot steam. Well, and blood and bone, too. Baked, burning, steam-baked, no less. Whew. Now the hills up on this end of the up here start. That's way down there. Whew. This is actually going to be a shorter walk than most, because I'm only going to walk up as far as the attorney's office, and then I'm going to turn and come back. Just I want to show you what it looks like up here on the upper part of town. Whew. It's a heck of a walk, I'll tell you that. Thank you for standing here and watching and listening with me. I really do appreciate that. It's lonely out here. Just walking by myself. Talking to this red plastic box in my fingers. Man. Feeling like a crazy person. No disservice meant to crazy people. I mean, I have a lot of mental issues myself. I have severe clinical depression. I have bipolar disorder. On top of that, except that I don't have the bipolar where, you have the huge highs and then the terrible lows. No, my bipolar is a almost clockwork 2-week cycle, where for 2 weeks I enter a trough of just absolute self-loathing and depression, hatred, and then for another couple days I feel myself coming out of it. The quote-unquote manic phase is pretty much slightly more depressed than a person would be at their normal. And then in 2 weeks I begin the cycle dipping downward again. Whew. This is one heck of a hill. That is one heck of a hill. And I'm still going up. Oy vey. This is no smart camera. As intelligent as it may be, it doesn't have any of the smart features of even your average telephone, which is okay. I mean, technology moves so fast that you grab anything that's a year old, a year and a half, 2 years old, and it is so old as to be almost obsolete. Electronics are evolving so quickly. Hey, here's the time. I'm coming up on a clock. It says the date, and that says the time. So it's taken me about a half hour to walk this distance. Man. Whew. I guess that makes sense, though. This is now Olympic Highway North, I think. Let's see if I can find an actual street sign. Which reminds me, on the corner of Euclid and 7th, the people there took the street sign down, flipped it over, and gave it a spin, so it's upside down and sideways. But as you can see, this is Olympic Highway North. Yay! And it only goes, well, up there to the end of the road where the Walmart is. And then it's not Olympic Highway North anymore, it just stops. So Olympic Highway North is like a stretch of road that's like a mile and a half maybe, and then it's gone. Weird. There we go. Yep. Now I'm gonna walk back down, which means the fact that I crossed the street means I actually have to cross back because there's no sidewalk on this side to actually walk. That was smart of me. Oops. Whoa. There we are. I had reached 11 minutes on the last one, so cutting it back down. I'm still using my left hand. I should probably switch to my right so it won't be cramped. Here we go. I'm gonna actually switch. I should turn off the camera, but I'm not going to. Oh, come on, thing. Sure. There we go. I had a strap that I needed to adjust, and it didn't want to adjust. It was fighting me, so I killed it. And I ate its corpse. I mean, what else are you gonna do with a corpse? Might as well put it to use. Hey, some garbage. Cool. Actually, that wasn't cool, it was garbage. I'm gonna have to take a slightly different path, like a different road down. So instead of taking 7th downward, like, oh my god, my hand is disgusting. I've got to wash that off bad when I get back. Got all this ash from my pipe on it. Uh-oh. Someone's coming up, so I'm going to have to turn off the camera because I don't want to talk to them and ask for permission, so I'll see you all in a bit.